Think fast. Speak fluently. Hello, my amazing students and English learners around the world. Let me ask you something. Have you ever been in a conversation where your mind suddenly went blank, even though you knew the words? Have you ever thought of the perfect sentence after the conversation ended? You're not alone. One of the biggest frustrations for English learners is this. I can understand English, but when it's time to speak, I freeze. It's not because you're not smart. It's not because you don't know enough vocabulary. It's because speaking fluently in a second language requires speed, confidence, and a calm mind, all at the same time. And that's a skill you can learn. That's why today, we're talking about how to think fast and speak fluently. This is not about speaking perfect English. It's about speaking naturally, confidently, and automatically. It's about training your brain to respond in English without panic, without overthinking, and without translation. Let's explore the mindset, techniques, and real phrases that helped me and many of my students unlock the ability to speak like a real communicator. Why thinking fast matters. Fluency is more than grammar or vocabulary. It's about flow. It's the ability to hear a question, form your thoughts, and respond without hesitating too much. When you can think fast, your speech becomes more fluid, more confident, and more engaging. Native speakers don't pause to translate or build sentences. They've trained themselves to connect ideas instantly. And you can too. But thinking fast doesn't mean rushing. It means reducing friction. The less time you spend searching for the right word, the more space you have to connect, laugh, explain, and be yourself. So how do you actually train this skill? How to train your brain to think fast and speak fluently. Training your brain to think fast and speak fluently isn't about cramming vocabulary lists. It's about building real communication habits. The first step? Stop focusing on isolated words and start learning real-life phrases. Instead of memorizing random vocabulary, focus on expressions like, "Let me think about that," or "You know what I mean?" These kinds of phrases act as mental shortcuts. They're ready-to-use tools that help you express yourself faster and more naturally. Phrases reflect how real people actually speak, and they prepare your brain to respond without hesitation. Another powerful technique is shadowing. This involves listening to native speakers and immediately repeating what they say, copying their tone, rhythm, and speed. It might feel awkward at first, but this exercise trains your brain and mouth to work together, building fluency and speed in real time. Try shadowing interviews, TED Talks, or even your favorite movie dialogues. Don't pause. Speak along with the speaker. The goal isn't perfection, it's rhythm and flow. A big part of fluency is giving yourself permission to speak before you feel ready. Fluency isn't something that arrives after you've learned enough. It comes from regular, imperfect speaking. Talk to yourself in the mirror, leave voice messages for friends, or join a language exchange. The more you practice speaking out loud, the faster your brain makes the neural connections for automatic speech. Perfection is not the goal, progress is. Thinking in English every day is another key habit. Don't wait for someone to ask you a question. Start by describing your daily actions in English. "I'm boiling water," or "I need to clean the table." These small internal dialogues remove the habit of translating from your native language and train your mind to operate directly in English, speeding up your ability to respond naturally in conversation. Sometimes, Speaking fluently means giving yourself time to breathe. That's where fillers and time-buying phrases come in. Phrases like, "Well, let me think," or "That's a great question," sound natural and give your brain a few extra seconds to organize your thoughts. Native speakers use them all the time, and they're a great way to maintain flow without pressure. Another great strategy is doing Q and A speed drills. Grab a list of common conversational questions, like, "What's your favorite food?" or "What do you usually do on weekends?" and try to answer each within 10 seconds. The goal is speed and clarity, not perfection. Over time, your responses will become quicker and more confident because your brain learns to retrieve phrases automatically. Never underestimate the power of emotion and storytelling. When you speak from real feeling, sharing a funny memory, a lesson learned, or something personal, your words flow with more ease. That's because emotion activates deeper memory pathways. Telling short stories or talking about your real experiences makes your English feel alive, not robotic. And finally, remember this: celebrate progress, not perfection. Every time you speak, even if it's messy, slow, or awkward, you're getting. Let me tell you about one of my students, Maya from Indonesia. She was shy, quiet, and terrified of speaking. She said, "Teacher, I know the grammar, but when someone talks to me, my brain freezes." So we worked on just 3 things: daily shadowing, using everyday phrases, and recording voice notes. After 2 months, she sent me a message. "I just had a conversation with a tourist in my town, and I didn't stop once." What changed? Not her grammar, not her vocabulary, her confidence and thinking speed. She trained for fluency like a skill, and it paid off. Let's be honest. Fluent speaking doesn't come from studying harder. It comes from training smarter. When you focus on real communication, learn useful phrases, and practice in small, consistent ways, something magical happens. You stop freezing, you stop translating, and you start expressing your real thoughts, your real personality, in English. The truth is, speaking fluently isn't about knowing more. It's about using what you know quickly, confidently, and without fear. Every conversation you have is a chance to grow. Every mistake is proof that you're trying. Every phrase you use becomes part of your natural voice. So here's your challenge. Today, pick one technique from this guide. Maybe it's speaking out loud. Maybe it's shadowing. Maybe it's just saying one phrase to a friend. Do it. Not next week, today. Because every step you take brings you closer to fluency. You've got the tools. You've got the motivation. Now take the action. Because fluent speakers, they're not born. They're built. And you're building yours. One brave word at a time. Your voice matters. And the world is waiting to hear it.